Hello there. If you've landed here, chances are things feel like they're a bit too much right now. Maybe your mind is racing, or maybe you just feel completely shut down. Whatever it is, you're in the right place. Together, we're just going to walk through a gentle, practical way to find a little bit of calm when everything feels overwhelming. So, let's get into it. Does this sound familiar? You know that feeling? You could be in a crowded room or all by yourself, but inside, your mind is just off to the races. It's this constant, high-speed chatter, and yeah, as the quote says, it is absolutely exhausting. So let's actually put a name to what this overload feels like, because, when we can actually see the thoughts for what they are, we can start to realize they're just thoughts. They're not commands we have to obey. A lot of the time, it kicks off right here. This relentless feeling inside that you have to make a decision, any decision, right this second. What's for dinner, which email to open first, what to do about that big thing at work. The pressure just feels huge. And then, right on the heels of that, comes the to-do list. But it's not just a list, is it? It feels more like a weight, this constant reminder hanging over you of everything you haven't managed to do yet. And kind of bubbling under all of that is this powerful current of anxiety. What if I pick the wrong thing? What if I fail? That fear can be totally paralyzing, and it's the very fuel that keeps that 400-mile-per-hour brain running. Now, this is such a critical reframe. I really want you to hear this. Feeling this way is not a character flaw. It's not you being too much or too weak. It is your body's alarm system, your nervous system, doing exactly what it was built to do. It's reacting to something it thinks is a threat. The only problem is the switch has gotten stuck in the on position. So what do we do about it? Well, we're not going to try to fight it or muscle through it or fix everything all at once. Instead, we're going to do something that can feel kind of radical in a world that's always telling us to go, go, go. We're going to give ourselves permission to just pause. And this is the core of it, right here. The goal of this pause is not to solve all your problems. It's simply to stop trying to solve them, even just for a minute. For this one moment, you don't have to have it all figured out. Your only job is to just be here. That's it. And to help you feel safe doing that, just remember these 3 things. 1, you are always in the driver's seat. 2, if you feel uncomfortable and need to move, please move. And 3, if you need to stop, you just stop. This isn't some test you can fail, it's a tool, and you get to use it however it works best for you. Okay, so let's get practical. How do we actually do this pause thing? We're going to use a really simple but surprisingly powerful technique to give our racing minds something solid to hold on to. And here's why this works. Overwhelm feels huge and abstract and chaotic, right? So to counter that, our brain desperately needs something small, simple, and real. We need to shift our focus away from the tornado of thoughts in our head and onto the simple physical reality of our body, right here, right now. So here it is, your 3-step process. Super simple. First, just gently notice your body. Feel the weight of it in the chair or your feet on the floor. Second, try to put a word to what's happening inside. You can just silently finish the sentence, right now I feel anxious or tired or a mess, and that's totally fine. And third, you're going to choose a physical anchor. Now, an anchor is just a simple physical sensation that you can focus on. It could be the feeling of gently pressing your feet into the floor, or maybe the warmth of your hand on your own chest, or even just the light pressure of your fingertips touching each other. Just pick one that feels okay for you. This becomes your home base, your point of return. Of course, the second you try to focus on your anchor, your mind is probably going to have other plans. The thoughts will still show up, and they'll probably be loud and demanding. The trick isn't to stop them, it's to change how you relate to them. This is such a great way to think about it. Imagine watching a movie with subtitles. You see the words on the screen, you register them, but you don't jump into the screen and start arguing with the text, right? You just let it pass as the next line comes up. We can learn to do the exact same thing with our thoughts. Just notice them and let them go. And look, your mind will pull you away. That's 100% guaranteed. But the moment you realize it's happened, that's not a moment of failure. That is the most important part of this whole thing. That's the moment where you just gently and without any judgment, guide your attention right back to your anchor, your feet, your hand, your fingertips. Every single time you do that, you're building a muscle. That is the practice. All right, there's one last ingredient that really makes all of this work. It's the piece that so many of us, especially when we're stressed, completely forget about, and that is being kind to ourselves. try just silently saying this to yourself. And here's the magic part. You don't even have to believe it. Not really. Just let the words exist. Let them land in your mind for a second, just as a possibility. Let's reframe this one last time because this is huge. Feeling overwhelmed does not mean you are defective. It means you are enduring. It's a sign that you have been carrying a really heavy load, probably for a long time, without enough help or rest. It's actually a sign of your strength, not a sign of your weakness. So as we finish up, I really want you to let these two permissions sink in. First, you are allowed to rest before you're done. You don't have to earn it. And second, you're allowed to pause without it meaning you're giving up. In fact, pausing is what allows you to keep going. You don't have to figure out your whole life right now. You don't even have to figure out the rest of the day. So what if the only thing you had to do in this very moment was take the next breath? Just one. And then the one after that. What might change if that was truly enough?
If you found peace here, we'd love for you to stay. Subscribe to join our journey.